Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League Spike Magazine Trophy. We're in the final week of regulation tonight. 2 games for you tonight as well. A really good one tonight. 2 great coaches, but boy, this is going to be an uphill battle for one of them, I think. Tonight we've got... That's right, I Want to Be Like Doug versus the Harlequins, B.B.F.C. Richard Cranium versus B.B. Nut. Dwarves versus Undead. Let's take a look at the standings. We're down to our final 4 already. I suppose I shouldn't say already, it's week 9. In first place in Division A is Dead Fred's Real American Heroes. They're a Dark Elf team, 6-1-0 is their record. They will be advancing to the semifinals. They play later this week. They play on Friday, and they're playing for seeding at this point, whether they want to win to seed into first place or not win to seed into second place. Cenozoic Park is Nick Satan's team. That's a Lizardman team. 5-2-1 is their record. They have seeded in the 4th place spot. So they have a chance at going up against Real American Heroes yet again. And the S Beavers, the Dead Poets and Undead team, 3-4-1 is their record in Division A. Over in Division B, the White Skull Windbreakers, coached by Doug the Minotaur and Orc team, 6-2-1 is their 6-2-0 is their record. They will be advancing to the semifinals, as well as Elfitis Australis, coached by Eric. That's a Wood Elf team, 6-1-1 is their record. They are advancing as well. BB Nut up tonight. 4-2-1, currently in 3rd place. Had a great showing here in his first competition in the league. Has been eliminated from the competition, but may very well carry this team over into the Dungeon Bowl. We'll see if he does. And if he does, he's looking for some SPP. He's looking to make this team a little more robust. And boy, tonight's matchup is going to show you why. Eric Lionheart, Old Gamer Mike, welcome to the stream. First up, we're going to look at the home team. I Want to Be Like Doug, coached by Richard Cranium. They're coming in a TV of 1,515,000 gold. 13 players will be taking to the pitch on the roster this evening, including that Death Roller. Oh, God. That Death Roller, that sneaky Death Roller will be taking to the pitch. He has a Blitzer, 2 runners, a Troll Slayer, and a whole bunch of linemen, 1 apothecary, 4 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. He'll be up against an Undead team tonight. And that is the Harlequins, B.B.F.C. They're coming in with a 12-player roster and a TV of 1,175,000 gold. That's 340,000 gold in petty cash that will be going to the Harlequins tonight, and he's going to need every last coin of that. Has 2 ghoul runners. Lewis Lionel, the number 3 ghoul runner, injured for this week, will not be taking to the pitch. I'm sorry, he has 3 ghoul runners, and 1 is injured. 2 mummies. He has 2 blitzers and a whole bunch of linemen. 6 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. How do the 2 teams play tonight? Well, I think the Harlequins pray to Duffel. I think that happens first. But let's take a look at the home team first. Look at this. I mean, this roster is what dwarves become, right? Richard Cranium been kitting out this roster the way you do. Lots and lots of block. Dwarves tend to come with block. The ones that don't, he has block on them. He has a whole bunch of guard. These linemen, right? Their first pickup tends to be guard. He has a lot of guard on this roster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guards on the roster. And to add insult to injury, he has 4 players with Mighty Blow, a whole bunch of tackle as well. Just a really nasty team. The Troll Slayer, of course, has Frenzy, but look at the Death Roller. Look at Dead Freddy, welcome to the stream. Look at the Death Roller. Strength 7. Dirty player, not +1, but +2. Sure, it's a secret weapon, but he's also a sneaky get, so he will not get called off the pitch if he rolls doubles on the armor roll. He has a +2 to the armor or the injury roll, whichever he needs it for. And boy, he's gonna he will presumably get called off the pitch after the first drive, but not if Richard Cranium can argue the call, as he's been quite successful at doing. He is missing his stand firm lineman, but I don't think that's going to be a problem tonight. He's going to be 3 rerolls is where he wants to be. He's going to be up against this Undead team. BB Nut, good showing with an Undead team. Undead, I think, one of the better races in the game of Blood Bowl. He's up against I would say a mid TV Dwarven team, and he's sort of a lower TV Undead team because this is the first competition they've participated in. Not a good matchup in my opinion. Not a good. Sweet Bunny says starting 10 minutes late. All right, fair enough. thanks for letting me know. Dead Freddy says Kevin Bacon still needs to retire. Isn't acting enough? What more do you want to do, Kevin Bacon, with your life? And I think this matchup's just going to be really, really tough. Doesn't have a lot of block on the roster. He has a couple of players with Mighty Blow. Those are the Mummies. One of them has guard. That's certainly very helpful. He does have Mighty Blow on Andre Esterhazen, the number 13 blitzer. But man, he just doesn't have the skills to go toe-to-toe with this Dwarven team. This Dwarven team's going to pummel, absolutely pummel the Undead team. I think if the Harlequins want to win tonight, they have to find two things. They have to find three things, actually. They have to find a way to leverage their speed advantage. The Ghoul Runners are MA7. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a decent speed. They have dodge as well. So he needs to leverage that speed to try to be able to get past the defense on offense. Needs to leverage that speed on defense to stay in front of the offense, and needs to play a little bit Elven-like. He needs to just not lose players, which is what Richard Cranium's going to be trying to do tonight. He's just going to be trying to murder pieces today. And BB Nut's going to have to find a way to prevent that from happening. Very tricky to do when you don't have high AG. But if anybody can do it, I think BB Nut can do it. BB Tag. I was going to say BB Tag. BB Tag's a fighting game. Blaze Blue cross tag battle. Anyway. Number 2, he gets 340k in petty cash. He needs to use that smartly. Whether that's he gets in on the Bride game and tries to remove players himself, whether that means he gets a star player. Undead have access to the 2 new star players, Gretchen, I don't remember her name, Gretchen and the Dwarven Passer. I don't remember either of the names really, but something half height. Regardless, I don't think he's going to pick them up. I think if he's going to pick up anything, it's going to be the Animal. Ivan, the Animal Death Shroud. He can pick him up for 180k, I believe. That's an option. A Wizard's always a solid option. But the third thing that he has to do, and this cannot be stressed enough, he's got to pray to Nuffle. He's pray to Nuffle tonight because he is absolutely the underdog in this matchup. 690 fans, at least he'll be earning some cash. All right, the game's gonna start 10 minutes late. I bet you I can tell you why. Give me just a second. We'll do this together. Hold on. Guys, we're spying on him. We're spying on his game. BB not finishing up his game. We're watching along with him. I don't know the etiquette. I hope this isn't rude. This is probably rude. It's probably rude to stream somebody without their permission. Let's stop doing it. All right. Let's cut it off. I should have thought that through a little more. I was like, is it rude to stream somebody without them know? It probably is. I feel like it's quite rude. So I apologize. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But BB Nut finishing up his game here. Looks like he's almost done. Old Gamer Mike says, is there a master list of dead players? Like the star players? Sweet Buddy says, not rude, I want to see who wins. A master list of star players? No. But while we're waiting, I can actually show you. This is one of my minor complaints I have with this game. To see, players that died in the league? Oh, no. But one of my minor gripes with Blood Bowl 3 is it's impossible. At least I think it's impossible to see star players unless you're in a game and in the inducement phase. So like you have to start up a game and then look at the star players in the inducement phase. Looks like he's almost ready to go here, so we'll give him a few minutes to hop on over. We have a second game this evening. It's going to be, let's see who it's going to be. Second game this evening, that'll be starting 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -5, -4? I think it's -5. That's about 3 hours from now. That's going to be Rodentia versus Subductus Super Killicarpters. That will be Spire versus Berserker Tempest. Skaven versus Underworld. RIP Swarming. That'll be this evening, just under 3 hours from now. First up, we have tonight's game. And then after tonight's game, there's one more game left in regulation here in the Spike Magazine Trophy. That will be played on Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That will not be streamed. That's Nevagana versus Real American Heroes. Shine versus Dead Fred. That's Orcs versus Dark Elves, and that will be a game where Dead Fred is playing for seeding in the semifinals. After that game, meaning on Saturday, the semifinals will begin. The scheduling will begin. Coaches will be able to start scheduling their games that Saturday. 2 semifinals. It's just a single elimination bracket, so there'll be 2 semifinals and a final. There's no consolation match in the Spike Magazine Trophy. In other words, there's no match to determine who's third place. There is one in the Blood Bowl, but we don't do those during the regular season. So starting on Saturday, there'll be 3 games left, and the 2 finalists will earn a spot in the Blood Bowl later in the season. And after the Spike Magazine Trophy wraps up, we'll take a break. We used to take a break for a week or two. I think we'll probably only take a break for a day or two, and even that, and then we'll open up registration for the Dungeon Bowl. The Dungeon Bowl is our final open competition of the season, open to everyone who wishes to participate. Whether they played the game before or not, it doesn't matter. Whether they played this season or not, doesn't matter. They can join in, play with us, have a good time, play some Blood Bowl. But that'll be our final open competition of the season, and after that will be our championship. That's the Blood Bowl. It's been a great season so far, man. It's been our biggest season yet. It's been our most competitive season. Man, I love watching players just come into this game and either just perform really well, like watching real good players play, or watching new players grow, or watching somebody do something really cool that you never thought of doing before. Man, this game is so much fun. I love it. Absolutely love it. Very grateful that Games Workshop has brought it back in 2016. And Cyanide makes the Blood Bowl series, Blood Bowl 1, 2, and 3. It's just a dope game, man. It's a dope game. All right, let's see where they're at in that game. Let's see if they're in overtime. I hope they're not in overtime. If they're in overtime, we'll figure something out. All right, looks like he's finishing up here. We'll give it a few more minutes. All right, we're gonna cut to the intermission screen while we wait for the coaches to ready up, and then we'll kick over this game. Shouldn't be more than a couple of minutes, I imagine. BB Nut, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the raid. There he is, the man of the hour. BB Nut, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it, sir. All right, you missed the pregame. Here's the pregame. I hope you prayed to Nuffle. All right, without further ado, let's see if the coaches are ready to go. We'll get this game underway. Game 1 of 2 tonight. PB Nuts says I just used up all my luck in UK Blood Bowl League. Don't say that. Don't say that if you are a true follower of Nuffle. My chicken chaser, welcome to the stream. BB not up against this dwarf team. It's going to be an uphill battle. Sneaky Git, Death Roller, a whole bunch of block, lots of guard, even a smattering of Mighty Blow. All right, waiting for this game to begin. First of two games this evening. The other game will be Skaven versus Underworld. That's about 2 hours, 45 minutes from now. While we wait for this game to get underway, the big problem here is that, in my opinion, is that this Undead team is a fresh team. TV 1000 or TV 1 million going into this competition up against a mid-TV Dwarven team. I think that's just plain old the underdog on paper. He'll have to try to leverage his speed advantage and use that 340k that he'll be getting in the inducement phase to try to whittle away to try to gain. Don't whittle it away. Try to gain some sort of advantage against this really terrifying Dwarven team that he's going to be up against. The Dwarven team, the bashier of the two. These are two bashy teams, but this Dwarven team with all that guard, all that tackle as well. So we'll have BB Nut will have to be careful with his ghouls not to be marked by, oh, I don't know, anyone. It's just going to be a real tough battle here for the Underworld team. But BB Nut with a great showing so far. And this is first competition, not just of this season, but in the league. In third place in Division B. Has been eliminated, will not advance to the semifinals, but had a real great run. Looks like we have clear skies for this first game this evening. I'm very interested to see how Berserker Tempest feels about just wholesale losing swarming. I think the rest of us are just fine with it. But that's later tonight. Oh, that Death Roller, I hate it. I hate it. The grass feels kinda tall. I mean, somebody really needs to trim that grass. Whoa! The team has disappeared. They've vanished into the warp. 8 fan factor for the Harlequins. 5 for I Want to Be Like Doug. 340k going to the Harlequins this evening. They picked up they picked up Bryce. Wow. So they picked up Bryce and Ivan the Animal Death Round. So the pregame we talked about him likely picking up the animal. I've never seen anyone pick up Bryce. Bryce, star of the hit movie series. Oh, I don't have a pun on Evil Dead. Evil Bled? Evil Dread. Star of Evil Dread. I Want to Be Like Doug on defense to start the game this evening. Three on the line currently for this defense. The linebackers playing deep, just underneath the secondary. 2 corners, 1 another wide zone, and 3 safeties. And that will be the setup, giving up the sidelines to this faster team. And now the Harlequins to set up their offense. The Death Roller not taking to the pitch this drive. Keeping that off the drive for a later pitch. The Death Roller is a secret weapon, meaning he'll only get 1 drive. Oh, that's how he got the extra money, because of the bribe. I Want to Be Like Doug picked up a bribe, so it's 2 bribes, or 1 bribe for each team, and then the 2 star players for the Undead team this evening. But yes, that bribe means that the Death Roller will more than likely have 2 drives. Dirty Player +2, plus Sneaky Get, Strength 7, an absolute nightmare, and Mighty Blow, naturally, an absolute nightmare piece to deal with. Could try to just do a quick TD to get the Death Roller off the pitch, but not going to happen with a bribe in the pocket. And now here's the kickoff. 5 on the line for this Undead team. Shallow kick. Knuckle Dusters for the Harlequins. One of your players with the loaner trait available for this drive. Gaining Mighty Blow +1. They will take it. They will absolutely take it. They need every little bit they can get. They've picked it up on Joe Marchant, the number 7 blitzer. He's the left tackle. First block of the game is going to be a push. Second block, 3-die block. Gets a pal here. Mighty Blow means this is a 9+ to break armor. Does not get it. Third block on the line. Knocks down Paul Funyon. Gets a both stand. Oh, perhaps a push on the Sunday Kid. Well, took it as a both standing result. Ball kicked to the opposing 8-yard line. Going in on the blitz behind the defensive line. Will get the knockdown this time on the Sunday Kid. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. Well done. Move 09 says, is that an overdog bribe by the Dwarves? Yeah, he picked a bribe up all right. He paid for a bribe. Bryce the Slice Campbell gets called off in the very first bribe has to get spent. Very first foul of the game, or chainsaw action, I should say. I mean, if you're a secret weapon, everything's a foul. Really, really. Bryce Campbell used that chainsaw right in front of the ref. The ref said, no, thank you. Took his money, and now he's facing the wrong direction. Turn 1 back to, I want to be like Doug. Going in the blitz on Ivan the Animal. 9+ breaks armor here. Stands up Butch Casserole. He's the number 7 lineman off on the left side of the line. Advances Meatloaf and Wyatt Burp down the, excuse me, Butch Casserole's on the right side of the line. Advances Wyatt Burp and Meatloaf on the left side of the line. Doesn't overextend. Knows he has a significant speed gap. Just pulls his secondary in a little tighter, and now turn 2 back to the Harlequins. We're going to start off with a Mummy Blitz. 2-die blitz gets the knockdown here. Looking for that 9+. He's got it. Gets a stun. Stun's very, very potent. Stuns are always... Any sort of knockdown is always great because you lose the 3 MA. But particularly against a slow team, right? This stun here on the Soy Stuff Rogers, out for a turn. Then on the following turn, he'll only have 1 MA, 1 effective MA. It's going to cost him 3 MA to stand up. That gives him 1 left over to do something with. So very, very effective to knock down these slow teams. Gets a knockdown on Butch Casserole. May have fired the other kicker, actually. .40 seconds on the clock for the Harlequins. They have set up a tight 4-point cage on their own 4-yard line at center pitch. Trying to decide what to do here with the final seconds on the clock. Bryce the Slice Campbell Going in for the chainsaw. Gets a stun. Did not get called off. And now turn 2 back to I want to be like Doug. B.B.F. asks, how do you get the action wheel up? It's either I think it's hold left mouse button. It might be click right mouse button. Two-die block. Gets a pal on James Chisholm, the number 9 lineman. Debating which direction he'd like to push this Zombo. Pushes him back into the cage. Doesn't follow up. Doesn't want to give up those blocks. Doesn't want to take a chainsaw to the face by Bryce Campbell. Continuing to keep this defensive secondary in formation. He spreads too thin, it might open up a hole that he will not be able to catch the ball carrier through. And that'll be the turn. Turn 3, back to the Harlequins. You get the cross, the line of scrimmage. Double pals here to get the turn started on Meatloaf. Those mummies, those are the kill players on this roster, right? Big strength 5, no nega trait. Double skulls. Speaking of no nega trait, didn't have to worry about the loner roll, but rolled into quad skulls. And that's a turnover. Double skulls in the first roll, re-rolled into 2 both down results, but does not have the block skill. The opponent did. And that's a knockdown mummy. The problem with the mummies, when they get knocked down, they're only MA3. We talked about how it's 3 MA to stand up. Well, that's all they can do. That's all they can do. Anything else they'd like to do is GFI. Or not a GFI, a rush. I'm sorry, it's a rush. Minute 14 on the clock now for I Want to Be Like Doug. Starting to mark the front of the cage. They do want to take those marks because they want to get those blocks. They want to get... They really don't want to be held to just a blitz a turn. They want to get those blocks. They're a big, strong, bashy team. But they also need to be careful that they don't get run past. Those ghouls are very fast compared to these dwarves. You can see that's why he's keeping some of his faster players in the secondary here. The runners, the Troll Slayer. 2-die blitz gets the knockdown on Bryce the Slice. Let's see if he tries to foul this star player later in the turn or not. Currently would only have 1 assist on the foul. Guard no longer aids you in fouling. This player would not lend an assist. Takes the 1-die over on the left side of the line on the left end. Scott Baldwin will get a push here. Doesn't follow up. 10 seconds on the clock. Decided not to go for the foul. He could do so with Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. I can't imagine he'd risk his runner on a foul, however. Yeah. Pulls that player back into the safety position on the left side. Could we call that a strong safety? Is there a tight end? 2-die block, turn 4 here for the Harlequins. Oh, R.I.P. R.I.P. Sunday Kid. You're now playing for the Harlequins. Oh, you died. You thought you could rest, but no, you've got practice next week. First murder of the game. Well done. 1-man player advantage now for the Harlequins. SPB, thank you very much for the bits. Chainsaw Blitz. Didn't work out. Fails the rush. Will he spend the reroll to keep the drive alive? He will. Gets in on the second rush here. To get the assist on the block. Gets the knockdown on Butch Casserole. Turn 4. Final turn of the first quarter. I want to be like Doug. Still not getting overly or overcommitted. They're slowly eking out a little bit of the pitch at a time. They say, okay, you want to stay put? I'll apply a little bit of pressure. My secondary will stay in place. I'll stay in front of your cage. You're not getting by me. Dude, I blitz. Bryce Campbell is a pal here. 8+ breaks armor with Mighty Blow. And well done to get that star player off the pitch. Does not have to deal with that chainsaw anymore. I bet you Bryce didn't think that was groovy at all. Not at all. Continually shuffle around the secondary. Pulls 2 players over in a column on the left side. Kevin Bacon, the level 3 runner in his second season. Plays as a defensive back on defense and naturally is a running back on offense. Postaining result against James Chisholm, and that will be the first quarter. Second quarter begins, and it'll start with a pow on Paul Funyon by Joe Marler. This game's turned into a little bit of a scrum here at mid-pitch. Ball has yet to cross the line of scrimmage. But the Dwarven team not getting overly committed. Has opened up a hole now. As you can see, he opened up the hole this way. Looks like he's going to set up his cage here. And there it is. The ball carrier is going to go through the hole, cross the line of scrimmage for the first time this game. It is now on the opposing 10-yard line, just inside the right wide zone. Double Skulls has to spend the final team reroll to get the knockdown. No rerolls left for the Harlequins. Really just has to keep the ball carrier alive for a turn. If he can do that, he can score fairly easily. But then it's a question of how much time are you giving up to the opposing team? Are you going to allow them to score back and tie the ball game going into the second half? If you do, you're giving them the ball in the second half, and now you're in danger of losing the game 2-1. Good 3+ dodge by Balthasar Porn Killer. Number 4 cool runner. Number 5 now for I want to be like number 5, turn 5 for I want to be like Doug. Point man Andre Esterhazen, the number 13 blitzer, trying to make any repositioning in front of this cage virtually impossible. We might see good armor break. We might see the lunchbox and Junior Bacon Cheeseburger just start moving over here to try to force the score. Dwarves is a very slow team. They need all the time they can get to score. We have seen Dwarves go the entire length of the pitch in a single turn. Push frenzy follow-up here, but failed the rush. Spends a reroll. Spends another reroll on the skull and gets a both standing result out of it. Wanted to knock down Andre Esterhazen. He's going to get a mark on Marcus Smith. And a 50-50 dodge by the biggest ragu is going to work out. Turn 6 back to the Harlequins. What good mark over here by the biggest ragu. If he doesn't get pushed out of the way, there's no positive dodge for Marcus Smith out to the right. Breaks armor with the mummy. Joe Marler gets a stun on Paul Funyon. Paul Funyon, boy, he's going to be out for, I'm going to say he's going to be out for effectively the rest of the drive. Another both standing result, this time coming back to the lunchbox. Tried to knock down Andre Esterhazy the previous turn. Blitz declared by Marcus Smith. Both standing results. It's going to use wrestle. Ball's going to bounce out of the hands of Marcus Smith, and that's going to be a turnover. So went for the blitz with the ball carrier. It didn't work out. Didn't have any team rerolls remaining. The ball now on the ground on the 10-yard line. Kept Marcus Smith alive. Wrestle normally wouldn't be a turnover, but he had the ball. He lost the ball there, and that caused the turnover. Two-die block against Joe Marchant now by I Want to Be Like Doug. You have an opportunity to try to stop this score. When you're on defense, of course you want your defense to score if they can, but so long as you stop the score, you've done your job. So if I Want to Be Like Doug can do that, he'll feel pretty good about this drive. Gets a push on Balthazar, the number 4 Ghoul runner. He's a rookie. Blitz declared by Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. 3 MA to blitz with, not including rushes. 50-50 pickup worked out into a 2-die blitz on Balthazar board killer. Well done. Super well done. Declared the blitz on the prone Dwarven runner. Got the pickup on the 4+, got the pow on the blitz. And the icing on the cake, the injury, the permanent removal here. Well done. I Want to Be Like Doug now in control of the ball on the 8-yard line. Remember, the runners are MA6. All right, that's a far cry from MA4. You may say, well, it's just 2 spaces. Sure, but really you compound that turn by turn, right? So you're getting 2 extra spaces every turn. You can see Richard Cranium probably doing the calculus here. He wants to try to score. So he says, how far do I need to go in 2 turns? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 GFIs. So he took 2 now, and he'll have 2 to take over the next 2 turns, provided he doesn't get marked or anything else happens. Double skulls on the blitz for the Harlequins. That is going to be a null turn. Turn 7 now for I Want to Be Like Doug. First order of business is to move Junior Bacon Cheeseburger down pitch. He's got a huge lane to run down. There he goes. No rerolls left for either team. This is by no means a sure thing. General So probably going to come in to try to cover the ball carrier a little bit. Yep, there he comes. Guard's going to lend the assist for blocks against Scott Baldwin and James Chisholm. The biggest ragu marches forward, gets between Joe Marchant and the ball carrier. Joe Marchant could have got there. He could have tagged the ball carrier, could have marked the ball carrier, but couldn't have blitzed. 3 to stand, 4, 5, 6, rush. No rushes remaining for the blitz. Doesn't want to get tagged though. Dwarves are not particularly agile. Gonna get the knockdown here thanks to the tackle skill. Remember, ghouls are the only ones on the team that don't have regen. They're also fairly brittle at that 88 plus. Frenzy follow-up on Andre Esterhazen. Gets a push, or both standing results will take the push. And just kind of push them out of the way. That might be it for the turn. Oh, I forgot about the blocks. He's got 2 blocks down here to take. Good block on Scott Baldwin. That effectively makes him not a threat anymore. And now, I guess the push. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he's going to leave him where he is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Took the block. No, Meatloaf. Took the greedy block, and Meatloaf is gonna die. The apothecary spent on Meatloaf, and he still died. What? The doctor's like, look, I can save you, but you're gonna be seriously injured. And Meatloaf's like, just let me die. Just let me die, man. Do that block on Paul Funyon. Yes, B.B.F.C, thank you for the blitz. Wow, what is this? Wow. Andre Esterhazen with the hero blitz in Blood Bowl 2nd edition. We would have called that a heroic tackle. Oh, I didn't realize. I didn't realize it was Meatloaf dying again. Turn 8 now for I Want to Be Like Doug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They cannot take the blitz with Junior Bacon Cheeseburger because it's going to cost them a point of movement in a lateral direction, which is movement they do not have. Are the Harlequins going to stop this score? Yeah, they're just going to have to dodge. I think General So is going to have to come in and here. Yeah. Wow! Well done by BB Nut and the Harlequins to stop that score 0-0 at the half. Whew. No rerolls. Number of dodges on that blitz. Blitz worked out. Was able to tie up that ball carrier right on the line there. Couldn't get anybody I Want to Be Like Doug couldn't get anybody free to get the blitz. And that's 0-0 at the half. But I Want to Be Like Doug will be on offense to start the second half of the game. And I wager we're going to see a death roller. Cobblestore BB says, 2 dead dwarves, way to go, BB Nut. I mean, that is quite impressive. That's very impressive. You get a removal on a dwarf and you cheer. You cheer as loud as you can. 2 deaths? I mean, that deserves an award of some sort. There's the death roller. Pepperoni roller. Strength 7. Mighty blow. Right? Mighty blow. Dirty player +2 and a sneaky get. Is a secret weapon, so the ref will finally catch on to the fact that this death roller's on the pitch at the end of this drive. But there is a bribe that Richard Cranium has waiting to put in the hand or put in the pocket of the ref. Rolls a D1 on the blitz, so 4 open players on the defense will be able to reposition here. The offense going with 1, 3, 6, 9 players on the line with a wide end and Gravy Crockett in the right wide zone. Two-die Mummy Blitz on General So. We'll get the knockdown here. 8+ breaks armor. Got a stun out of it. Very deep kick by the undead team. It's going to end up on the 22-yard line in the left wide zone. Turn 9 now for I Want to Be Like Doug. 3 rerolls for each team for the remainder of this game. Two-die block on the line. Gets a push against Joe Gray, the rookie lineman. Knocks down Wilco Lowe, the left defensive end. One more block on the line. That's going to be against James Crisholm, the number 9 defensive end here. Repositions the lunchbox, the rookie Troll Slayer. Repositions Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Kevin Bacon bound to be the runner for this drive. Here we go. 3-die blitz. Gets a push on Andre Esterhazy. Doesn't follow up with the pepperoni roller. Ivan, the Animal Death Shroud, the star player, number 14. He's staring down that death roller. Good pickup by Kevin Bacon. 3+ pickup. He's going to advance the ball to the 20. And now a 1-die block. Gets a pal, breaks armor, gets a KO. Well done. 1-man player advantage for I Want to Be Like Doug. I Want to Be Like Doug. Back on the bonus clock. 6 minutes, 47 seconds left. Turn 9 now for the Harlequins. After the blitz, already encroaching in the Dwarven territory. We're going to take a 2-die block with Joe Marler, the Mummy. And they're going to push out of this. Three-die block. 3-die blitz by the Mummy. Gets a stun on the lunchbox. Tries to rush. Has to spend a reroll. Down to 2 rerolls for the game. Wants to mark Butch Casserole. Putting on the pressure now. Not allowing these dwarves to cage up. Once they're in a cage, it is a tough nut to crack. Or I shouldn't say normally. Often teams will, instead of trying to break the cage, they'll just stay in front of the offense. Just because they're so slow, dwarves really have to move every single turn. Good 3+ dodge to take a mark on Kevin Bacon. Joe Marchant now marking Kevin Bacon. Turn 10 for I Want to Be Like Doug. Two-die blitz on the blitzer. We'll get the knockdown here. This is going to free up Kevin Bacon. Many a coach has tried to kill Kevin Bacon, but he persists. He persists in his insistence for living. Ball's now on the Dwarven 8-yard line. want to be like Doug, needs to develop some sort of pocket for the ball carrier. Gets a push on Wilco Low. That windup, man, he has to dislocate his shoulder. Takes an mark on Andre Esterhazen as well. And now a 3-die on Marcus Smith. Nothing out of the death roller yet. Turn 10 back to the Harlequins. Harlequins B.B.F.C, the big bad funky club. I asked, this is an inside scoop. I asked BB Nut, I'm like, B.B.F.C, is that Blood Bowl Football Club? He's like, no, that's Big Bad Funky Club. I was like, oh, all right. You heard it here first. The Harlequins Big Bad Funky Club. Currently on defense. Applying significant pressure to this Dwarven team. Good arm break. Good stun here against Wyatt Burp. These stuns so close to the ball carrier are not trivial. And now going for the blitz on the ball carrier. 2-die blitz. Gets the knockdown. Well done. We'll see where the ball bounces. Ball bounces out to the left. He'll follow up, or he'll continue his movement to mark the ball. Good turn here by the Harlequins. They applied the early pressure thanks to that blitz kickoff event and did not let up, did not give the Dwarven team an opportunity to form the cage. And now they've knocked the ball out of the hands of Kevin Bacon himself, former actor turned pro Blood Bowl player. Let's see if I caught the replay. Yeah, there it is. Well done. Turn 11 now for I Want to Be Like Doug. They've got to find a way to not only get at this ball, but secure it. They don't necessarily need to recover it this turn, but they need to push this undead team away and say, this is my ball, get away. And then start finding a way to gain some momentum and start moving down pitch. Dwarven team in real danger of being split apart here. Dwarves want to stay grouped up. They want all that guard. They want those assists. They want to be taking those blocks. Blitz by the Death Roller gets nothing out of it against Marcus Smith. And the Death Roller will continue the blitz to mark Andre Esterhazen. Andre Esterhazen in front of the ball, 5 spaces away. 1-die block on Joe Marchant. This is a both standing result. Joe Marchant, the second closest player for the ball. Just 2 spaces behind the ball. 3+ dodge by Kevin Bacon. Fails the dodge. Did not spend the reroll? Oh, he did spend the reroll. Spent the reroll, failed the dodge again, and Kevin Bacon gets stunned. Where's the stunt double? That's the problem. Like, all these actors, they want to do their own stunts. It's ridiculous. This is what happens, Kevin Bacon. Turn 11 for the Harlequins. 2-die block, get the knockdown on Butch Casserole. So Butch Casserole, Kevin Bacon, both prone near the ball. And now the Harlequins going to town with these standing dwarves. Knocks down Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. He's the second runner. Good ball pickup by Joe Marchant. And now the Harlequins have the ball on the opposing 18-yard line over in the left wide zone. Man, did I miscall this game or what? The Undead team seemed like the underdog on paper going into this matchup, but They have been very strong tonight. Turn 12 for I Want to Be Like Doug. They find all of their dwarves marked, many of them prone. Stand-up blitz against Marcus Smith, hunting a ghoul, trying to remove a ghoul at 7+, but can't get it. Taking the blocks with 2 rerolls remaining. We'll get the knockdown here thanks to the block skill. And now the death roll. There, look at this thing. How can you not tell the secret weapons on the pitch? I mean, there's got to be like some sort of EPA violation here. Did I block on Wilco low? We'll get the knockdown here. Advance Junior Bacon Cheeseburger toward the ball carrier, trying to force the score, trying to do something. But I think Joe Marchant's going to march this ball into the end zone next turn. Well, he still has a reroll. I guess we'll see what the result of his blocks are. Did I block on Denny Care? Gets a knockdown. Most of the Dwarven team has fallen behind, and the Undead team picking them off. Harlequins can get on the board right here if they choose to. Probably looking for some blocks. Takes a mark on Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Good action order here. Moving your player is no risk since there's no die rolls. Wants to mark Junior Bacon Cheeseburger just in case something happens. Looks like he's going to try to stall for a turn. Gets the knockdown on Butch Casserole. Yeah, good mark. Good mark by Ivan the Animal. So now the only positive dodge for this dwarf is right here, and it is no longer a positive dodge. 3 die block. Gets the POW on Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. And now he has a positive dodge out this way. It's a 3+ dodge, and he can mark the ball carrier. Harlequins in great shape right now. They are on the opposing 24-yard line. Just looking to stall as long as they can before scoring. Already with just about a quarter left in this game, the Dwarves are going to have a tough time getting on the board. Turn 13, fourth and final quarter begins. I Want to Be Like Doug with 2 rerolls remaining for the game. 0-0 the score. They've gotten nothing out of the death roller this game. Lunchbox marks Danny Care. Did I block back at the line of scrimmage, way back in no man's land? He'll get a push, or he'll get a knockdown here. The Dwarves really have nothing to do but to play catch up, and when the opponent is knocking on the door of the end zone, they have all of the momentum. It's their touchdown to lose. Yeah, there's the 3-die dodge into the blitz, fails the rush. Didn't even re-roll it, said it wasn't worth it. And got stunned. That is a very unfortunate stun by Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. That means that the Harlequins will not have to worry about this runner for another turn. And yeah, almost certainly going to give them another opportunity to stall here. 2-die blitz, good dodge by the Animal. Pushes back Kevin Bacon, follows up. Well, doesn't follow up, but continues movement. And now the 2-die block on Kevin Bacon will be a POW. Move graciously lowered the rush failure rate from 900%, from a Games Workshop mandated 900% to a much more reasonable, a much more fair 99%. Two die block. Really just a commanding game by BB Nut here this evening. Lost the ball in the first half. It looked like they were going to be scored upon. Had a great dodge, prayed to Nuffle a little bit, was able to get a great mark, and use the Dwarven marks against them. So he got a mark on the ball carrier, pushed him to the sideline. The ball carrier was just in range of the end zone, which meant he could not blitz the marking player. When you blitz, the block costs one of your MA. If he would have taken that blitz, he would have been 1 MA short of scoring. So had to find another player to try to take the blitz on the marking player. And dwarves are not very agile. AG 4+, that's a 50-50 with no rerolls. Didn't work out when he tried to dodge on the blitz. And the undead team was able to hold them to a 0-0 score. After a good blitz result on the kickoff event table, the Dwarven offense, they were very heavy on the line. 9 players on the line. And the blitz came in. The undead team took advantage of that blitz. Here we go. Armor break by the Death Roller. Only gets the sun out of it. Good 3+ dodge by Kevin Bacon again to mark Joe Marchant. Had 9 players on the line. The blitz came. The Harlequins took advantage of the blitz. They got a number of players through the offensive line and started applying early ball pressure, especially after that deep kick. Deep kicks against Dwarven teams tend to be great, right? They're very slow teams, so they have to just sort of trundle toward that ball. BB Nut kept the pressure up turn after turn, not allowing the Dwarven team to cage up and protect the ball, and were able to knock the ball free, and now they have it here in turn 14. Right outside the end zone. One die block on Kevin Bacon will be a push. He'll push him off the ball carrier. Is he going to score this turn? Yes, he is. Well done. But what's the dodge for showboating? What was that? 1-0. The Harlequins take the lead. Very well played. No one's going to save you from the beast about to strike. Very well played by the Harlequins. 2 great drives this game. Bribe's going to be spent. The Death Roller, the ref finally found out that there was a giant machine with an internal combustion engine on the pitch. But Richard Cranium bribed the ref, and the Death Roller will be back out on the pitch here for what will likely be the final drive of this game. 2 turns remaining. Harlequins will be on defense. Giving up a bunch of pitch here. They're trying to screen out the pitch way back on their own 14-yard line. They know there's just 2 turns left. The fastest dwarf is an MA6. 10 on the line this time. 4, I want to be like Doug. Both kick to the 10. Kevin Bacon's going to try to get this ball in his hands. On the high kick, it works out. Turn 15. They can score, but it's an uphill battle at this point. 2 die block on the right defensive end. Look at a knockdown here. They break armor. Look at the casualty SPP. Only got a stun. Stun's not going to matter too much. +9 to break Joe Gray's armor. Although, I mean, look at him. It's probably more like a 5+, really. I want to be like Doug, moving very fast down pitch, as fast as a dwarf can. Lightning speed for a dwarf. Gonna try to blitz the number 7 blitzer. He only gets a push out of this. Is he gonna spend a reroll here? He is not. Trying to carve out some chunk of pitch and pray to Nuffle that he can get this ball down into the end zone. 2 rushes by General So. So now the 4th most Dwarven player on the opposing 14-yard line. 2 rushes by Gravy Crockett against Marcus Smith. And 2 rushes by Butch Casserole. Sending as many players down pitch as possible. Kevin Bacon's going to hang out right at center pitch. The first foul of the game. Death Roller gets an injury. I have to say, if I were BB Nut, I'd be tickled. This is the first time the Death Roller's fouled. Maybe it was the second time. But I think the first time was a blitz. Hank the Ranger, look at the stream. Hank the Ranger says all those successful rushes are because of Move. They are. They are. Well, what can you say about BB Nut's performance here in this game? Just a really solid game. Solid offense in the first half. Ended up praying enough a little bit. It worked out. Had a great play in the final turn. Part of the game of Blood Bowl is finding opportunities, right? Blood Bowl, largely about luck mitigation, and another large part is just finding opportunities on the pitch. Where can I get my 3-die block? Where can I get my 2-die block? Where can I surf? He found an opportunity to take a dodge. I'm not going to say it was safe, but somewhat safe, right? Like, it wasn't a 6+ dodge, and it was a string of dodges. But more importantly, he found that opportunity to weave that player through that line and get a really good mark on the ball carrier. So even though he lost the ball, he was able to pivot and find a way to stop that score. Here on offense, he saw an opportunity in that kickoff event and the offensive formation that was presented to him, and advantage of it. He was able to shut down the Dwarven offense very, very easily. And has had a great game because of it. Well done, well played. Turn 16 for I Want to Be Like Doug. Their final turn in this ball game. Can anybody score? One person, I think, can score. And that's the Lunchbox. We'll see what he plans to do. But if he wants to get on the board and tie this ball game, it's going to the Lunchbox. The Lunchbox, marked by Joe Marchant, the white blitzer on the left side, and that giant mummy, Alex Dombrandt, right in front, strength 5. He can afford one non-forward movement, but I don't know where you go. There are tackle zones everywhere. Everywhere. What are you going to do but take the 1-die block on the mummy? Takes it as a blitz. So now it's 2 rushes into the end zone. Fails the first dodge. It's a 5+ one way or another. He's got to re-roll this. Doesn't work out. Turn 16 coming up, but that'll be the ball game. Oh, BB Nut is correcting me. I'm sorry. BB Nut said B.B.F.C stands for Big Beautiful Fedora Club. I got it wrong. I apologize, BB Nut. The Big Beautiful Fedora Club They're going to win this one 1-0. Well done. Two-die block on the biggest Ragu. Just looking for casualties. 2 SPP. There's 4 ways to gain SPP in the game of Blood Bowl. You get 2 SPP for inflicting a casualty, 3 SPP for scoring a touchdown, 1 SPP for being the passer and completing a pass, and 4 SPP for, oh, the GG foul. 4 SPP for being declared the MVP of the game. Well done. Absolutely well played by BB Nut. And they're going to take this way 1-0, the final game of this competition. BB Nut said I thought it was Kevin Bacon. Everyone would have cheered if you took Kevin Bacon out of the league. All right, that's the final game for the Harlequins here in this competition. They're going to finish this competition in 3rd place in Division B with a record of 5-2-1. Congratulations to BB Nut, not just for their victory this evening, but for such a great placement here in their first competition of the league. We hope to see them back in the Dungeon Bowl. But we've got one more game tonight coming up in a little under 2 hours from now at 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And that's going to be, well, let's see together. There it is. That's going to be Rodentia versus Subductus Superkilicarpters, Spire versus Berserker Tempest. That's Skaven versus Underworld Denizens. That'll be tonight at 9 o'clock. After that, there's one more game left to be played this week. The final game of regulation here in the Spike Magazine Trophy. That's Nevagana versus the Real American Heroes. That will be played tomorrow night. It will be unaired. But after that game, that means on Saturday, semifinal scheduling will begin. The top 4 teams have been decided. Let's take a look at them one more time before we break, before our second game this evening. The Real American Heroes, a Dark Elf team coached by Dead Fred. Cenozoic Park, a Lizardman team coached by Nick Satan. The White Skull Windbreakers, coached by League Champion Doug the Minotaur, an Orc team. And Alphitus Australis, a Wood Elf team coached by Eric. Those are the final 4 in this competition. They will be ranked by seeding. They will be seeded as if they all played in one big division, which means Real American Heroes are going to be either 1st or 2nd seed, depending on how they finish out week 9. The White Skull Windbreakers will be 1st or 2nd seed, depending on how the Real American Heroes game shakes out. Alphitus Australis will be the 3rd seed, and Cenozoic Park will be 4th seed. So I'm looking forward for the semifinals. I'm looking forward for the match tonight. We saw a big battle game now. Just a moment ago, we're going to see an Agile team versus Underworld. This will be the first game we see with Underworld nerfed without having swarming anymore. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the semifinals. I'm looking forward to the Dungeon Bowl. The Dungeon Bowl registration will open once the Spike Magazine Trophy concludes. We have 2 games left this week, 2 semifinals and a final. After that, we're going to open up registration for the Dungeon Bowl. It's our final open competition of the season. If you want to play with us, you do not have to have played earlier in the season. You do not have to have ever played in the league. You don't even have to have played Blood Bowl. You just need a copy of Blood Bowl. We're going to open it up to cross-play as well, so grab a copy of Blood Bowl 3 on your platform of choice. Come play with us. We're a friendly bunch. We love this game. We hope you'll love this game. And if you do want to play with us, there you go. You can check out our Discord right there in the chat. But that's going to do it for this game. We'll be back. The stream will start about an hour and 15 minutes from now. And then the game is scheduled for about an hour, 45 minutes from now. So the stream will start. There'll be a countdown so people can file in, a 15-minute countdown. We'll have a 10-minute pregame where we go over the 2 lineups and the 2 teams. And then we'll get right into that game. It'll be our final aired game of regulation here in the Spike Magazine Trophy. I hope you will join us back here for that. And then the semifinals will begin getting scheduled. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club. Here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel, Play Blood Bowl, man. This game is so much fun. It has been played for 40 years. Why? Because it's such a rad game. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store until tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's UTC -5, I think. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Oh, thanks, KG Moose.